And we're back. Welcome, guys. We just found out who the four qualifiers from China to go to BlizzCon are. And we're not done yet. We're going to have a single elimination tournament among those four players to see who is the champion of China. You excited, Rapid?
I'm pretty excited because now we not only know who the four best players were from this tournament, but now they're all going to face off against each other. So imagine a world in which all four Chinese players got put into different brackets. They make their way up, and this could be a BlizzCon finals. Not necessarily very likely, but you get the idea. The best players in China, they're playing for us right now, and they're going to go head-to-head. And it looks like the matchups for this final bracket will be Love playing off against is it Gudu?
NoTomorrow.
Yeah, NoTomorrow, and then Zoro versus Gudu.
Yeah, NoTomorrow was sitting there earlier, leaning back in his chair. One of the more jolly guys. He doesn't seem to be very happy. Maybe he doesn't want to do this right now. He's like, go to America. Why do I need to do this? I don't need $10,000.
I mean, $10,000 drop in the bucket of a Hearthstone pro gamer, right? D2.
I wish. No, tomorrow maybe he's thinking, love, I could beat this guy in my sleep. No need to even worry about this. Why do they even have the matches? In any case, as we saw there on the screen, they had their deck lineups. I didn't catch that. It was gonna just throw out some names: Warrior, Paladin, Warlock.
I think that's a fair assumption to make. I feel fairly confident that those are some of the classes that have been included. And while NoTomorrow adjusts his protective headgear, we are about to get into the semifinals of this tournament. 3 more best of 5s until the entire Chinese BlizzCon Hearthstone Grand World Final Tournament qualifiers concludes. So.
Well done, well done.
There you go.
All right, so yeah, this is going to be the semifinals, aka the first round. Well, not really the first round, because the first round was way back when we had that double elimination tournament in the beginning. And surprise, surprise, Patron Warrior versus Patron Warrior. How many times have we seen this happen?
Oh man, it's the patroning. It's coming out here. These guys both have set up their very own Patreon. And they really hope that they'll be able to get some big donations, cash out with these decks as we get into our first game of this best of 5. There you can see their decks that they have chosen. Hunter, Warrior, Paladin versus Warrior, Paladin, Warlock.
Yep, that's what we're going with this time. And at least we're not going to have a super long game like the last few ones where we had with Gudu. To be honest, not too sad that Gudu's out of the tournament now that we're not going to see so many slow anti-patron decks anymore.
Yeah, no control warrior here. They're just going to patron it off. It's the patron off. And they are going to, let's see, check out their opening hands. As far as whirlwind activations go, Love's definitely in a good spot. NoTomorrow, though, does have that elusive Warsong Commander in his hand. I've seen so many players try to fish for that one. I've seen it be win conditions. You definitely need that, and if it sticks there until you see that Emperor Thorzen come down, which is also in NoTomorrow's hand, that's not a bad hand. Setting up for what could be a turn 4 or turn 5, turn 6 patroning.
The patroning, and you can see NoTomorrow already with the smile on his face. Anything will make that guy smile, honestly. Sees the act like he's like, I got the Fairy War X for that one. That's why I put 2 in here instead of some people who throw it out. We have Love looking at that Death Bite. It's a little bit confusing to me because he's not going to be able to propagate patience this coming turn anyway. Maybe if he top decks an Inner Rage, but that's a little bit. It's a little bit playing with fire there. I know he got the 1 in 5 Warsong Commander last game, but probably can't go for the 2 in 20. Probably not going to happen this time.
Yeah, the 2 in 20 slightly greater or less or worse odds than the 1 in 5. We'll see. The kill off of that. What is that card even called? I totally forgot. It's
the Gnomish Inventor.
Gnomish Inventor. Yeah. Man, I am. The longer you cast, the more cards you forget. I think we've found that to be pretty true for basically this entire tournament. But next turn, Love's actually in a pretty good spot. You can pull out what is that? 4 patrons at least.
Yep, it's gonna get 4 patrons out of that. Also gonna be able to kill this this Emperor Thoresen, but the Emperor Thorson did discount quite a few things. Look at that hand.
Oh my god.
He has War Song, Double Frothing, Double Whirlwind for just 7 mana.
And Inner Age, so...
Yeah.
Jeez. Well...
This is one of those cases... Look at him smiling. Look at him just nod his head. This is one of those few cases where...
Oh, okay, to be fair, NoTomorrow would do that no matter what. But
well, that's true. But this is one of those few, like, he's already signing. Oh my god, he even got the Whirlwind. So if he doesn't have lethal on 7, he's going to have lethal on 8. Just gonna armor up. If this were if they were playing across from each other like at the World Championships, Love would be having a heart attack right now.
Or even like you remember there's that famous Forsen play where he pings his own monster, his own mad scientist to get the ice block, to win the game, and he just like looks over at RDU and just gives her the finger. It's just like, okay, this is how you know you won. You can see if you were.
Is that well played? Is he already calling it? Is already? He's got 40
plus damage in his hand on turn 7. Yeah, oh my gosh,
this is insane. Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, this is one of the few times where the guy makes patrons on turn 6, and already you know the other guy has won. Kind of crazy. Not something you see every day.
The dumbest thing I've ever seen. Jeez.
Oh my goodness, Love cannot be happy about that one.
He could have 10 more health, more armor, and still die. Oh my gosh. All right, NoTomorrow, man. That's why we love this guy. Definitely one of the strongest players that we've seen consistently perform in this tournament. You can see Love. He's starting to count things out. He's like, all right, there's no possible way I could die this. Oh, what? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly, speaking of no possible, I think it might have been within it might have been something to consider to maybe slam his own patron, but probably wasn't going to be done anyway. Slight sequencing error by NoTomorrow could have gotten more damage off of that first Whirlwind if he got it onto the unstable goal, but going to be plenty of damage. Looks like that's what 41 damage onto the, or 42, excuse me. Forgot the extra damage. Forgot that one extra. Frothings are always growing when I'm not looking at them. Ding Frothings. So NoTomorrow, always happy. That smile is deadly.
That is actually disgusting. Get out of my Hearthstone game, Patron Warrior. Oh my gosh. And when you think about it, this combo essentially not, granted patrons activate more of the Whirlwinds to give you more damage on your Frothings, but theoretically that is a deck combo that has existed from the very, very beginning of Hearthstone. Now, granted, Emperor Thorson makes it completely broken to where you can do it on turn 7, but all in all, that's something that's existed for a while, but only now has it become completely and utterly disgusting. Get out of my games. We're moving on. And as punishment for winning with that deck, he can now no longer play it.
Not allowed to play Patron anymore. Only allowed to get 1 win with that class. It would actually be really bad if Patron existed in the world in which the World Championship was played with last hero standing, because that's all you would see people bring. Yeah, just that reminds me of the NA qualifiers, or the Phase 1 qualifiers last year, when literally every single person who qualified except one brought Midwind Hunter, because at the time it was pretty broken. Yeah,
was that back when there was 2 mana?
Yep.
Yep. Unleash the Hounds? Yeah,
no, 3 mana Unleash the Hounds. 2 mana Unleash the Hounds was never. I mean, it was there for a tiny bit, but yeah, it was the 3 mana Unleash the Hounds.
I think people figured that out pretty quickly. That was back when you had the Buzzard for 2 mana, right?
The Buzzard was 2 mana, yes. That was the one that was absolutely completely broken, and
what if you just got your entire hand back just for free, just because? Fun game. But thankfully, all of those have been patched out.
Yeah, you would draw cards and then draw into removal for your opponent's board, and yeah, and you would actually, by building a board, you would draw cards. Doesn't even make sense to me. In any case, I'm sorry for the lag there for a second. The knife juggle does miss, at least the first time. NoTomorrow is facing a little bit of a tough decision whether or not to go for the Abusive Sergeant or to go for the Leper Gnome.
Oh man, he unlucky there, misses both juggles.
Wow. Well, the knife juggler's nowhere to go. Looks like it's time to smork, boys.
Yeah, it's like, well, all right, can't clear the board out anymore. It's time to hit the face. And to be fair, that is turn 3, 10 damage to face, so that's pretty good. And keep in mind, this is not necessarily the same variety of Silverhand Recruit spam Paladin that you're used to seeing. It's a much more aggressive face version of that. So you've got things like that Lepronome and, Abusive Sergeant, tons of stuff like that.
Yeah, really interesting list there. As we were mentioning before, it's kind of not really. It's kind of hard to remember all of these decks, but I don't remember in particular this deck, the very aggressive token mid-range, but not really mid-range. It's more like aggro Paladin deck. Any case, NoTomorrow facing a really tough decision here. No matter what he plays on the board, it's likely to get cleared unless he clears this Armorsmith first, which he could with a lucky knife. But yeah, looking to be in a pretty rough spot. Actually, Love, no matter what happens, he can attack. He can put the Acolyte onto the board, attack, and then execute. So looks like, yeah, NoTomorrow is actually going to go for hero power into that. Into the Leopard Elf, and he's not going to hit either knife, both going to face. Knife Juggler knows where the place is, and that's the face.
Jeez, I feel like we've seen 2 games in a row that have been just excessively silly. One is, 40 damage on turn 7 for Patron Warrior, and this one is just, super early game aggro Paladin, just hitting everything straight to the dome. Now, it might get punished just a little bit by this Whirlwind effect, so at least there is some justice in the world. But at the same time, not all that punishing. Because he's still done, what is that, 14 or 16 damage to face already.
Yeah, it has gotten that damage in, and this is something that some Chinese players and some Korean players do a lot of times, is they reach for cards in their hand before the turn comes up, and I feel like that doing something like that can cloud your vision a lot. Like, say for instance, maybe he had a Whirlwind, could Whirlwind execute that guy, maybe he takes less damage in that sense. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't like, really putting the blinders on and not looking at maybe your top deck or looking at what you could possibly do. Just a little bit of a, criticism I would have for someone like Love. Maybe think about his plays a little bit more. I mean, these matches aren't as important as the ones earlier, but still pretty important. Want to find out who is the champion of China.
This is a good Warhorse trainer. I haven't seen too many of them, but if he hero powers and Warhorse trainers, he at least gets a little bit of value. And the real benefit of that would be trading the Silverhand Recruit right into the Frothing Berserker and being able to clear it out a little bit ahead of schedule. But actually just kind of interesting to see Warhorse trainer. I haven't seen that in very many decks.
Yeah, I think we might actually see something like the Argent Squire go into the Frothing Berserker and force, like, if the Deathbite Whirlwind goes off, then you kills the Frothing Berserker. Although it does allow things like your Fencing Coach or something to die, so I guess he's just going to go with this. Maybe play the Fencing Coach and Hero Power, maybe not. In any case, NoTomorrow is running out of a lot of steam, and if Love can clear this board, he's probably got this sealed up, especially with that shield block in hand.
Well, to be fair, the Patron Warrior is down to only 9 HP. So he's going to get a bunch of cards in hand. Doesn't gain any armor, but I mean 7 HP is not out of kill potential by any means. Of course, okay, I take that back. 13 HP is somewhat out of kill potential. 12. Got it.
Third time's the charm. We got it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, eventually.
I would have actually liked to see him armor up there to maximize armor, so he can armor up this turn and then shield block armor in a later turn. But maybe he was looking for more answers, more cards to deal with his opponent's board. Like, for instance, this board, he really kind of wants to have a Whirlwind here. NoTomorrow going to give him an extra card. No Whirlwind quite yet. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we found it for Love. I guess he's going to play this out first. Whirlwinds now, potentially can get a Battle Rage later. 3 health to do some of Ma's math. 3 health is about the same as 4 anyway, coming from the Paladin's perspective.
There you go. Yeah, so what does he draw? Where's the Leroy? Been looking for it for a while, but no, that is not the happiest Quartermaster. But I guess, do you play it right now? Would playing it right there have been the better idea?
Could be, but he does see his opponent kind of pushing for a face, so maybe he ignores this guy. But yeah, I don't really see what. Yeah, he's just gonna play it out. I don't believe this deck is that is running that many face options. It just kind of has that early game, and I believe it just scales into later game minions. I don't think it actually has burst damage from the hand.
All right, this is where we see NoTomorrow top deck the Divine Favor and proceed to win the game, but probably not very likely.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was referring to a little bit there. I don't believe he actually runs Divine Favor.
How do you not run Divine Favor? Like, if you don't run Divine Favor, half your deck is just empty. Like, you just don't ever get to it.
That's true, but I think he just scales into bigger minions later, and then by running minions that allow you to press the hero power button, you get longevity out of them, and it just turns out he's fist pumping now. Maybe he just picked it up. No, just kidding.
Sometimes this guy's fist pumps are way off the wall. Like, where are they?
What do you? I don't understand.
Like, things are terrible. Better fist pump.
I got it. I can kill that 2-1. Yes, that's a victory.
I don't know about that. I feel like the inability to kill the 10-6 may be somewhat of a damper on the action there. So, all in all, if he draws Quartermaster, he wins the game, correct?
Yeah, maybe it was a sarcastic fist pump. It was like, yeah, I got the muscle right after I threw away the Quartermaster. Dang it! Maybe that was what that was. Maybe?
No, I don't know here. All right, so 8 health is what you need to get through. He knows all he has to do is get through everything. Is that lethal? Are you what the...
Sorry?
Did he just... Okay, no, he's 2 off. I got a little bit excited. I was like, wait a second, he was 2 off. Okay.
He's confusing you as well. Because it looked like he celebrated like he had
expressions. Lethal. He's just like, oh man, I'm so good at Hearthstone. Oh my goodness, look at these play. Oh, I didn't win.
Oh no, I didn't win. Oh no, it didn't happen. Why?
Oh, I'm about to lose really badly. Oh, I'm super happy. Oh my god. Oh, I'm still losing really badly. What's happening here? Like, usually you could just look at the player's face and judge from all these things, but I mean, he's still alive for one more turn, right?
He's just a happy man. What can you say? I mean.
Top deck Leroy wins the game, right?
Top deck Silverhand Regent does not win the game, unfortunately. So
no, a slightly less valuable card there in that situation. Honorable Sudoku. There you go. And you can even see the reflection of NoTomorrow in the reflected. I guess that what is that?
Glass pane.
Yeah, in the glass there towards the side. So. I'm not sure if they can like see each other or look at each other, but you can definitely.
Is NoTomorrow hanging upside down? We didn't know it this whole time. Look at now Love is upside down. What is happening? Actually, no. Maybe that's the reflection of the video screen.
That's just the reflection. Okay.
Maybe it's the video screen instead of. By the way, remember that sign we keep talking about on the left side? It's still swinging.
Every time. Yeah, it's definitely swinging. Every time the camera pings, there's this sign, in case you guys don't know what we're talking about, there's this Hearthstone sign on the left-hand side of your screen that you can see swinging back and forth. And the reason it's swinging is because every time the camera pans over there, it actually bumps the sign a little bit. So, I don't know. That doesn't matter. Paladin versus Paladin! And we're going to see this, once again, super aggro Paladin list come out.
Well, kind of
from NoTomorrow.
Kind of aggro. I mean, it's not like the old school aggro paladin where you kind of run the arcane golems and the blessing of minds.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's not super face paladin, but it's still pretty wacky. Yeah. Like, I haven't seen too many successful lists that include Warhorse Trainer in there. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it is a list, built around having these dudes. So maybe it's something he's thought about. People in the chat are wondering about Fencing Coach. Fencing Coach in this list is there to set up future plays. Like, a lot of times you have something like, Murloc Knight, and you can't just play it on 4, but instead you just play Fencing Coach on 3, and then on 4 it's like, oh, there's a Murloc for free. So that's pretty much the reason behind it. And we might see this actually this game. And we see the fist pump out of NoTomorrow as he hits the knife juggler. And I guess that is something to be grateful for, especially with this Muster for battle coming up. But
Well, I'm curious, like, why is that a good thing? Like, I guess it does clear that, but I think it just dies next turn immediately anyway.
yeah, but he would have gotten completely destroyed if his opponent had knife juggler and Muster for battle. So
So now you just get slightly less completely destroyed.
yeah, exactly. Now you can play a 2/2 so that you can play a 1/1. It's kind of like a Razorfin Hunter, except worse.
Except worse. Yeah, I don't generally like playing cards that are except worse. But yeah, he is going to be able to throw that fencing coach down, spam out some some Silverhand recruits, and yeah, the board has evened itself up. Well, not completely, but
Yeah, I mean we do have those 6 stats on both sides, but I mean Loves gets the first play. I think he's deciding whether or not it's worth it to play out this consecration. Probably not. So yeah, it's just going to take control of the board with these 2/1/1s, and he has 2 good plays coming up. As far in the form of those 5 drops.
all right, yeah. And to be fair, 5 drops not something that NoTomorrow knows what they are. They're not in his deck at all. So he's just gonna muster himself for battle as much as he can, and it's like I'm gonna muster. No, I'm gonna muster. No, well, okay, he's got to consecrate, so it doesn't really matter. But
he could go for the Sludge Belcher here if he is. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna go for the Sludge Belcher. He's able to clear 2 of these guys off. Might be afraid of that Quartermaster, but it's only gonna kill off the first half of this Sludge Belcher anyway. So I guess not too afraid of that. And Divine Favor, there is Divine Favor. My mistake.
all right, yeah. So he does run Divine Favor. I think it's a pretty easy, like, no-brainer to include in your deck. What's the play this time around? I think, yeah, you just empty your hand as much as you can because you know Divine Favor is going to fill it back up. And if you can draw, 3, 4, 5 cards off of Divine Favor, then that is tempo that most Paladins may not be able to deal with. However, given the particular list that Love is running, he's got tons of answers in hand.
Yeah, he does have that Consecrate to be able to push back. As well, this Muster for Battle he's picked up right now. And whenever he goes for now, he's held onto that Consecrate for a while. Kind of doesn't want to use it too frivolously. He could just go for the Loatheb over, playing that out, and then maybe save Consecration for a later turn. Because at the moment, Consecration, really you're left with a 1/1 at the end of everything, and so he's not quality. That's I don't know why you would do that. Is that what that is?
That is certainly questionable.
I feel like if you get a 5/5 on the board, that's bigger than what everything your opponent has. So I guess if you quality and muster, then you still have board control. But I don't know about that one.
Yeah, a little bit of a loss of tempo there, and especially with this Divine Favor about to come out. He's going to have to dump as much out of his hand as he possibly can, and yeah, he's just going to go for 3 cards to be drawn off of that.
Yeah, maybe that was what Love was thinking about. It's like maybe the Divine Favor's coming, so I'd rather get rid of 2 cards than 1, but I mean, I'd rather just put pressure on. Also, you can't Divine Favor with Loatheb, so what am I talking about?
Good point, D2. And yeah, here is the Doctor's skill. It's coming down, and board control right back in Love's favor.
Are you getting diamonds on the top of your screen?
I am, but that's because it's just from donations.
Oh, but don't I have the things off? Oh, did I not have it off?
I don't know. If you don't have it off, then you'll see things just like scroll across the screen.
Yeah, it was off, so donations go away. Anyway, we have the Murloc Knight coming onto the field. What are we going to get out of this Murloc Knight? It's going to be... He looks like he's shaking his head. Oh, the Grimskull Oracle. Not going to do it.
No, that +1 attack, not as valuable as you would have hoped. Things like Old Murkai, good things to draw there. You can charge it out. But all things considered, he's 6 damage. Minibot. Just going to charge right into Dr. Boom and take him out. So this turn's fairly good for Consecrate, I would venture to say.
Yeah, we pretty good situation to use it. You definitely want to get rid of that Murloc Knight. The only problem is you don't have a turn after that. Maybe you can just play Tyrion, and that's fine. Maybe you could also do something like Lotheb and Owl onto that Murloc Knight, so it doesn't get any more value, I suppose. Looks like he's going to go for these boom mods first, see what it hits, and clears everything off with the Murloc Knight.
Yeah, it feels bad to not clear the Murloc Knight there because it's just going to spawn a bunch of stuff. If it were not Inspire, if it were per Silverhand Recruit played,
yeah,
Muster would just win you the game.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Well, no real way to kill this Tyrion without killing off your Murloc Knight as well. Doesn't feel the greatest. But what are we gonna see here? Probably, maybe just hope that the Hearthstone client is bugged and it makes a bunch of Murlocs when you play the Muster battle.
Yeah, unfortunately, probably not going to happen. How does a deck that plays teeny tiny minions get through Tyrion Fordring? The answer is, of course, equality. I guess that's one of them, but I'm not sure.
You equality for your opponent to consecrate you.
Yep. Yeah, you're just like, I'll play one half the combo. It's like the high five, you know. You're gonna have two hands for the high five.
Except one side of the high five is a little girl, and the other side of the high five is
it's like this big weightlifter.
And
he just like shoves her through the wall.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. And yeah, Tyrion's gonna take out that Murloc Knight. Consecrate's gonna clear everything up. Lotheb hits the field. This game is likely over. I have a question for you. NoTomorrow didn't lose a single match on the way to qualifying. Was he playing this deck? Maybe he won so quickly we don't remember it.
There's no way to check the decks that players have brought with them to the tournament.
We could go look at past videos and try to determine it that way, but I feel like this deck is performing really poorly. I don't really remember. In any case, Murloc Knight, maybe he can get a Bluegill Warrior to kill. He just needs 1 damage here. Not gonna get it. Gonna owl that, just go to face. No? Okay, well, we're gonna go to face with most things. Gonna really make this game almost impossible for NoTomorrow to come back here. And looks like we're looking at a 2-1 for Love.
Yeah, there's that equality. Now he needs a Consecrate and an
Harrison
Ooze
Jones.
To kill the, Ooze or Harrison Jones to kill the weapon. Unfortunately, he has none of those cards and will just go on to lose the game. So slightly unlucky there. Will the dagger snipe Tyrion? And it does! Oh my gosh. All right, well, sometimes lucky, but unfortunately not quite lucky enough.
Yep. That Murloc Knight sticking his tongue out at NoTomorrow right at the end there before he could concede. And Love's going to take it 2-1. And our underdog, the person who fell to the lower bracket of the double elimination tournament and then fell to the lower bracket of the group stages as well, is now about to beat the guy who hasn't lost yet. Or not about to, but he's up 2-1. He's in a favorable position.
Yeah, up 2-1. This is still best of 5. No crazy, best of 7. I think there was one tournament that had a grand final best of 9 because it was weighted. It was a clown fiesta. So yeah, don't wanna have those anymore. But it's still pretty cool. So nice to see there's the ooze we were talking about. All right, so it's in there.
Well, you were talking about it. It's on except now it's on the side of Love,
yeah,
and it's in the Zulog. So, So he's considering whether he should keep this hand. Feels kind of weird to keep 3/2 drops, but I mean his deck kind of ramps into, pretty big minions anyway later. So this is kind of a safe keep. He did see him shake his head there, not getting the 1 drop. But I mean, what can you really expect when you're keeping your entire hand?
All right, well, the ooze will get a little bit of value. There's, I don't know, I guess you can expect a lot of things. The ooze gets value next turn, and here come the 2 drops.
Yeah, you see the shake of Love's head again as he gets the 1 drop 1 turn late. Probably going to see that anyway this turn, though. It's going to get pretty punished by these 2/2-1s. Doesn't feel good to throw out a Direwolf Alpha and a Flame into 2 cards that can kill it pretty easily.
That's pretty pretty questionable play because now you just leave yourself wide open. I guess the way to come back from this would be for NoTomorrow to just play his weapon and swing with it, and then have that killed by the ooze the next turn. But even still, it still feels bad.
Yeah, you don't even use the use weapon in this spot from NoTomorrow. Just play out that Animal Companion or even the Wolf Rider and go to the face. Should be fine.
All right, well, we'll see what he does. Yeah, Wolf Rider, it's a good turn for it because you know there's very little ways for your opponent to deal with it. But no, he plays the weapon. All right, so weapon's going to get taken. Wait, okay. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But he wants to get the trap out so that he can power up the weapon the next turn. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. And now here come down two health creatures that are just going to die.
Yeah, at least one of these going to die to this owl. Does put NoTomorrow in a bit of an awkward spot because you can knife juggle or hero power, but that doesn't feel good. Do we know what the secret is? Is it explosive or freezing or...
They've not shown us the secret just yet. So I would imagine, if I know NoTomorrow correctly, that is explosive trap because you can see the Wolf Riders, and so generally you put Wolf Riders in like super face decks, and super face decks usually want extra damage from things like explosive traps.
Yep, you are correct there. He does get the Doom Guard onto the field, has to toss away his other Doom Guard as well as I believe the Power Overwhelming. But as far as the life total score goes, definitely favoring that of NoTomorrow, and not a good spot to be in when your Doom Guard has to be performing cleanup duty.
It's like the janitor.
Yeah, the janitor. Except he wants to be going face. You could look at his face. He's angry. He just wants to attack, and just gotta clean up these guys. Doesn't feel very good.
No, not quite what you want there. So he is going to be on janitorial duty for just a little bit. The silence of the Wolf Rider. It doesn't get charged. Oh, wait. All right, so now we can see a random Huffer get summoned. Oh, my gosh. All right, takes him down to 5 HP. And what's that? There's a beast on field. 5 damage to the dome. And that is going to be NoTomorrow bringing it back.
Yeah, a bit of a more subdued fist pump there. Not as happy as you've seen in previous matches, but knows that maybe he's turning on the seriousness, knows he wants to win this match. Got a little bit behind there, getting on 2-1, and looks like he's turning his game on at the moment.
He's getting pumped up with it, and I can definitely appreciate that. Taking it all the way to a 5-game series for our first semifinal match, and you can definitely see Love is not too excited. Not too excited about this one. This series has been ridiculous. We've seen crazy patron plays. There's Hunter just going off with the perfect Huffer right when you need it. And man, what a time to be alive.
Absolutely. NoTomorrow, you see him shaking his head there, not too happy, and not too happy again after getting rid of this mulligan. Noticing he has a fast start to be able to beat this Zoolock, and Beast Sergeant and Argent Squire are not even going to do it either. So let's see what Love comes up with here. If he goes ahead, and sorry for the lag there, by the way, guys. 64%, 71. Okay. Let's see what he goes with here. If he goes for the Flame Imp and Void Walker, which is the classic, then the Void Walker is going to get shut down, but I mean, the Flame It might get a couple bits of value by trading into the 1-1. Maybe he plays the Void Walker next turn. We'll see what the top deck is from NoTomorrow here.
All right, the Imp Gang bosses, Bossinators, they're in hand, but I don't know, not necessarily the early cards they wanted. Once again, this Flame Imp, I don't know, feels kind of bad. The Abusive Sergeant definitely has got its number. So I guess you play the Void Walker anyway.
Yeah, play the Void Walker, maybe kill off this 1-1, keep your Flame Imp alive. We see some weird motioning by NoTomorrow.
What is this guy doing? I feel like he's like the video for his player camera is like a minute ahead, so he's just making reactions to plays that aren't actually happening on the screen, because I don't know what half of his reactions are going to.
Yeah, it looks like we have a little bit more lag there. When something happens, I'll try to let you know so that we can maybe sync over, or we can not sync up the streams, but let you know where the stream is at exactly. Okay, he just attacked, just played the Voidwalker, and ended the turn. So, yeah, not a whole lot to do. It doesn't feel very good to play a 1-drop on turn 2, but it's not... I mean, it's really annoying for NoTomorrow in this situation. The Warhorse Trainer... not going to be training up this Abusive Sergeant, unfortunately, but I have to play it anyway. And I'm just going to see the Imp Gang boss coming out of Love. And this game is going back and forth. Not the best start, obviously, for NoTomorrow. And I got to question this deck. I mean, it's brought him this far. It has brought him this far, right? He hasn't been able to switch decks?
No, these are the same decks.
So, do you remember him winning with this deck?
Man, I remember him winning a lot of Hearthstone, and many of those games were 3-2 victories, so at some point this deck has carried him pretty far, even though you would not necessarily have expected it. Yeah,
sorry for the confusion on our part. I just, maybe he just won the first game of each series with this deck, and it's in the back of our minds. But, anyway, from the side of Love, I mean, he has a couple options here. I'm just going to go with this Knife Juggler play. It is the most on curve, and by getting this egg on the field, he gets to use the Power Overwhelming next turn. You're probably going to hit this 1-1, get the Knife Juggler onto this 2-2. Hitting the 2-2 doesn't really do a whole lot, because he knows he's not going to get the kill on it anyway. But, yeah, misses both knives. They both go to face. And, again, we have a very smorky Knife Juggler. Picks up the True Silver on the side of NoTomorrow. What's he going to do here? That's actually really confusing on NoTomorrow. I think it's a little mistake. He's going to hit the Imp King boss and spawn a knife, and it's going to possibly kill his... oh, I mean, not kill, but it's going to kill the Divine Shield of his shielding mini-bot. And you can see he's looking down, or he's laughing about it, and putting his hand in his... or head in his hand. Knows that was a mistake. Obviously, it wasn't intentional. Maybe a little fatigue is starting to set in here. I mean, he's kind of throwing out random thumbs up, just seemingly like at random, just kind of drunken thumbs up, it feels like. Not that I think he's drunk, but just seems like he's maybe a bit fatigued, doesn't have quite the same energy that he had earlier in this tournament.
Yeah, and to be fair, as casters, we don't have quite the same energy we had in this tournament either, so maybe that makes it a little bit more understandable. But as the games progress, yeah, the equality coming down, consecration immediately afterwards, and the evening of the playfield for just a little bit. But the big advantage that Paladin has is, a few extra cards, and now, at least for the foreseeable future, this is going to be a few taps to get back in the game for the Warlock.
Well, when you tap into Dr. Boom, you're feeling pretty good about it. I would venture he's happier to get the Dr. Boom now than get a bunch of, on the other hand, maybe get a bunch of small dudes over the next few turns. So, that said, that Divine Favor on the side of NoTomorrow not going to do much of anything at all. He does have the Consecrate to clear this out. Looks like he's just going to go with the Consecrate. Makes a bit of sense. Means it's going to keep his 1/1s alive. Consecrate not always that useful against the Warlock because they have all those Death Rattle minions. So gonna go ahead and just Consecrate for a weak turn to have a better turn this time. Get a couple dudes out onto the field so that he can get more value out of that Quartermaster. But looking like it's definitely in the favor of Love at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of Quartermaster hits are definitely going to, make you feel pretty good, but unfortunately Dr. Boom stays on the field, and this is going to be a lot of damage to face, and he's even going to be able to kill off the Boombot with the Power Overwhelming, Doom Guard, and oh my gosh, what's the bomb going to hit for? 4 to the face. That is that's a lot of damage done that turn.
All right, so we're a little bit of lag there on our parts. So you're telling the future for a second there, but thank you for your clairvoyance.
Well, hopefully everything syncs up here in a second.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, I don't really know what to do about it, but it's just an issue at the moment. And yeah, in any case, Love is very far ahead. The True Silver pickup is nice, but again, the Divine Favor doing absolutely nothing. Stuck in the hand. I mean, every single turn, Love is just going to be playing out his hand. 1,
2, 3, 4, 9, 10 damage exactly.
That's going to be lethal. And Love actually takes it over NoTomorrow. NoTomorrow happy as always. If you're gonna lose, you might as well lose after you've already qualified for Blizzcon. And Love just shaking his head. Maybe he's a bit fatigued as well. Going to be moving on to the finals. He is, I think, $2,500 richer, and going to be playing for that $10,000 first place prize pool.